Welcome to part 3 of and on that awkward note, let's get back to part 3 of a Harvester.
Yeah, for you guys it was at least a few days. For us it was 2 seconds.
2 seconds. I accidentally walked back into DNA's diner.
Alright, so what are we gonna
hold
do?
Hold on a moment. There is a lawnmower outside.
Because it's summer.
Examine the Indians! What's that about?
Oh, you know, back in the day.
Yeah. Okay, so here's where the game gets a little political commentary, and also 2 more cars, they're both Tuckers.
It's the Cowboy and Indian Show, guys.
Soon, buckaroos, there's more to come on Range Rider's Cowboy Roundup.
It's Woody's Roundup.
So this is Charlie Latch as Range Rider, and I love the teleprompters. He had one of those ready for every name available.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Here you go, then.
He gives you an autograph, and it's a useless item.
What about it?
I thought you could give it to Hank, considering that he loves this show. Oh, by the way, this is the show that Hank was watching. They're filming it right now. And it may or may not be live.
Cowboys hadn't gone out west and
He just walks on. He's not even on stage.
He's not even on the stage, and he's still talking with us.
The teleprompter's on stage.
That's not right. Wait, why are there audience seats at the bottom? Does this have a live studio audience?
They're not protecting the camera very well if that's the case.
It's just sitting there.
eyes checked or do like old Range Rider and shoot the bejesus out of them, lest they want to go untreated for psychotic hallucinations or wind up with their scalps hanging from a buckskin belt. Oh, shit! Ow!
What?
Shit on a stickaroo!
There's nothing wrong with this. What? Why is this the funniest thing to you?
I don't know.
So this is where the game gets a little, has some commentary to it. He pretty much says that, hey, if kids watch it, that says something about the kids, not me. This is where the game first starts to introduce its themes of being about how violent media can affect people. And it picks quite a banger to start this theme on.
Shit on a stickaroo!
Yeah. No, I was talking more. I was thinking more about the Native American violence, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me, we're going back on the...
Oh darn, that wasn't live.
I love that idle pose.
Oof.
I have him do that at least a few times.
Yeah, it is a live studio audience because of the applause sign.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going. You're bolting.
Oh, this guy. This guy looks like Donald Trump and talks about how much he hates the news.
So, how many years before the time was this?
I own and operate this station. Have you brought me some news for tonight's broadcast, or...
Mr. McKnight. I gotta find out who did his actor one moment.
It's Donald Trump.
He's not actually listed anywhere.
So it's another guy who just wandered in.
It was actually Donald Trump.
He
I think he did look a bit like that in the 90s, actually.
He wandered in.
Nobody competes with us, sport.
So yeah, he talks about how happy he is that the news station burned down, because now he doesn't have a competitor, and you can actually interrogate him about this, and it doesn't make him happy.
Doesn't mean I torched the place. You can ask Sheriff Dwayne if you have any doubts.
You seem awfully touchy on the subject, sport.
I'm touchy when people try to muscle their way into my business. I'd appreciate it if you leave my office and don't come back.
Build the wall over that door.
He doesn't actually kick you out, but you can't talk to him again. I hear that there's like a locker in this room that you can only open if you kill him. I forgot what was in it though, and I don't think it's not required for anything. So yeah, that's the TV station.
Yeah, but away we go.
Let's see.
The meat plant.
We're doing the meat plant next. Okay. Now I mentioned that let me get his IMDb up.
Oh, that's not a very sanitized meat plant.
Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so, little warning, there are some cutscenes here, and I'm gonna leave, like, the little editing I've been doing on the cutscenes, I'm gonna leave it unedited for this building, and I did warn a little bit about a seizure warning in episode 1. So, yeah. Also, this is the second super gory room in the game, and this is... His name is Pat, I think? And I can't find a credit for him.
Because he also wandered on stage.
Yeah. So this, your dad is the boss of this place, and this is one of his co-workers, and I like how friendly he is, but
man.
and how nonchalantly he talks about meat.
You may come to realize that this business is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong...
Yeah, see, look at the bottom.
Ah.
That's what it looks like when when recorded raw. So yeah, all the cutscenes in this area I'm going to leave unedited like that. And I do think the like weird seizure effects are kind of amusing though, because it almost feels like they're randomized, like what they can do. Like this one, it's just copies of the stuff on top, like turned into Technicolor, basically.
Yeah, so just in case if you're photosensitive, be cautious.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you know
I
that
typically
right now.
don't worry about that kind of stuff, but that just looks too obnoxious for me not to bring up. I had to deal with that this whole playthrough.
Ew.
Kidding about the amnesia. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you always were such a kidder, Steve.
Oh, he mixed it up. He said you always were such a kidder.
Such a kidder, Steve.
It was coached.
You sure are acting like a kidder, son.
Oh my goodness!
He did it twice.
Okay, I think the lawnmower's gone.
It's the lawnmower band.
Lawnmower. Have you ever watched that movie?
Oh, that's like one of your favorite movies.
I don't know.
Isn't
It is not one of my
Okay,
favorite
I guess
movies.
I was wrong.
I just think it's very interesting.
Did you do like a thing on it, like a paper, or am I just remembering everything about you wrong?
I think I may have done like a classroom assignment on it. Oh, you can ask about the cats in the room. That's all. Nothing unsanitary me to worry about here.
Yeah, you only have that one that's like cut open over there.
Yeah. Pat never tells you where the meat comes from.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's all the hobos and the cats. Our town fully persists on hobos and cats. That's just the entrails. At the
Yeah, it's
bottom.
like... I've never been to a butcher house, but I can't imagine it'd be like this.
It's definitely a lot cleaner.
So you do need to talk to Pat about something. You need to ask him about meat.
I don't see any cattle around here. Where do you keep the animals?
Does it matter? The end product is all the customer cares about, Steve. And we only carry the finest meat, only the juiciest cuts.
You actually need a, you need to get a... Yes, we get it!
The entrails again!
They cut to that like 5 times.
Would the lodge use us to cater their affairs?
So you actually need to get a cut of meat from Pat for something later in the game. He's very strict about, the company is very strict about giving out freebies, though. So what he does is he gives you a permission slip, and if you can get your dad to sign it, only then will he get you meat. So yeah, here it is. I love how formal this is, too. I do hereby give full permission to receive grade A product from Harvest Meats. Like... And before you ask, folks, because I know people always complain about my video quality, yes, it is that compressed. It is that hard to read. It's, like, in-game as well.
Alright, away we go.
Alright. Next we got the...
Oh, we're going to the school?
We're going to school. What do you remember about the school?
A bat.
A bat?
And-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we're leaving the school.
Oh, yeah, I think I just do the school later.
I don't want to say what actually happens, because it's a big, whoa, what the heck just happened moment, but it involves the bat? Or is it
does
a bat?
involve a bat.
Yeah.
This is... Oh, Mr. Phelps? Let's see. I forgot.
She looks too friendly.
Yeah. Oh, once again, she's not credited.
These people just keep on wandering on the set. I don't know what to do with them.
How does the infant child have a credit but not someone like her?
Because she has
She
roles.
has 2 roles in this game. This person, whoever plays Mrs. Phelps.
Sharp blow to the head is a good thing for amnesia, in which case I'd recommend Miss Whaley again. Then again, they say a good scare can jog the memory, in which case I'd advise you to visit the sergeant at arms over at the lodge. That man gives me the willies. Speaking of willies, how's your...
Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait. What does that have to do with anything?
Willies and
I get the joke.
And I'm explaining the joke in great detail.
Just point to whatever you want. I'm a little hard of hearing.
So I think earlier in the game we got a quarter. Yeah, a quarter. You need to give that to her, and if you use something on something that's not supposed to be meant.
Well, that didn't work. Okay.
I don't know why I'm doing this. You give the quarter to Mrs. Phelps, and then you can go to the.
A girly magazine?
Oh yeah.
Surprised at you. I'd expect that sort of thing from Deputy Loomis.
I like how they call it a girly
A
magazine.
girly magazine.
They don't want to actually say what it is.
Well, look at this sweet old lady. Would she say porn?
It reminds me, Aaron, there's a porn mag in Final Fantasy IV. But in the English translations, they just call it a magazine. And when you use it, the screen turns pink, and then the main character goes, whoa, and that's it. And then it gets used from your inventory. So yeah, let's go to the shelf.
Oh, the cowboy show's on TV.
Let's actually examine it. And this is what else is for sale. Some of the stuff we'll need later on, but we'll come back here later. You know what I love about all of these adventure games? All of these characters are broke. None of them have a wallet. They need to collect money as an item.
And then they have just the 1 quarter, but this is back in the 50s, so that quarter could, like,
that
buy
quarter
you this
could
house.
buy a girly mag, yeah. Oh, that rectangular thing in the center is a that guy in the background doesn't do anything. The rectangular thing in the center is a copy machine, because apparently they had those back then. I don't know if they had those back then, but you actually need to use that a couple points.
We're going to the police.
Oh, here we go. Here's the police station.
Hello, Steve. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sheriff Dwayne, and this here is Loomis.
I forgot his name was Dwayne.
It's Dwayne the Rock, Dwayne the
Dwayne the
Rock
Rock,
Johnson.
Dwayne the Scissors Johnson.
Dwayne the Paper.
So this is Sheriff Dwayne, voiced by Nelson Knight, and he does a super good job. Actually, he's probably one of the actors who appears in cutscenes the most.
Natural causes.
Natural causes. Oh, Aaron, don't talk about spoilers. And Deputy Loomis, who's like the kind of creepy guy. He's voiced by, is that a French name? Pieter van der Vliet. Plays 3 characters in this game.
Coming up soon. Heck, you should be thinking about your career and about joining the lodge. Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little thing in Harvest. I think you and Stephanie are perfect for each other. I just hope her father's disappointment doesn't spoil everything.
Like the meat he has stored everywhere.
In the lodge, but he'll never get in. Like all the rest, he's always hanging around the post office the first day of the month, waiting for Boyle to bring out that month's lodge application.
So here's where we learned a little bit more about applications for the lodge. And by the way, for something as sacred as the lodge, like it's talked about almost as if it's like a religion. It's almost like it's a place of worship.
Job application.
Yeah, like no, you get to see the application later, and it's filled out. You fill it out like a job application. It's so funny to me. And Steve's responses, because you can actually see him after he writes on it, it's kind of goofy, even though you can barely see it because it's so compressed. And you get these applications from Postmaster Boyle, who's the guy at the mail place. Yeah. However, he only prints them out once a month. At the first of the month, however, it's the middle of the month right now. So we got a few problems.
Yeah. Welcome to Harvest.
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve. Anyway, the fireman said the fire was caused by arson. I never caught the perp, though.
But we found the gas can that was used. Yes, sirree, Bob. It's in the evidence room.
Loomis, that's classified. Darn it.
How many times you gonna have to tell me to keep my mouth shut, I wonder? Sorry, Bob.
He somehow keeps his job for this whole game.
Well, there's no one else who can take it.
Right here. Hold on a moment.
You've been watching too much TV, Steve. Heck, Who can make out all those curvy lines?
I think around this time, forensic science was still pretty new, so of course they don't have the technology to actually dust for prints, and they see it as just kind of a stupid idea.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Once again, this game knows its time period well.
Loomis here is my deputy. Without him, I'd have a hard time keeping the peace, or at least taking a lunch break. Mainly Loomis answers the phone and babysits the office while I'm out. Though sometimes he likes to go in the back and stain the jail mattress. Isn't that right, Loomis?
With what?
You'll find out what later. No, you actually will. That's actually a major puzzle in this game.
I wouldn't invite him to the wedding. Or if you do, make sure he doesn't catch the garter. That could be embarrassing.
He looks eaty. Although knowing me, I'm probably gonna that he's probably like 60. Because I'm as we've all established, I'm bad at determining ages.
Get out of here right now, Steve.
You can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little...
Wait, we already did this.
Disappointed.
Disappointed.
I don't mind.
Oh my goodness.
Never get anything done if not for the lodge's efforts.
Steve, didn't you ask this before?
Harvest moon is the highest dream of everyone.
We gotta learn as much as we can about the lodge.
Gotta know.
Like I said, unless you get an application on the first day of the month, you're generally out of luck.
What I call it, the mail building?
The mail building?
It's the post office.
You might have a spare application laying around.
Bye!
I gotta go!
Bye!
Again, I'm a kidder!
With? Help yourself. Speaking of which, you're real lucky to be marrying Stephanie. She don't look like a good woman.
How are there two characters in this game whose gimmicks are that they're perverted?
It's like an anime. What anime did I walk into
Mr. Johnson
this time?
and Loomis.
So I want your best anime artwork, specifically
Oh, I forgot you
anime
could talk about
artwork.
him so much.
You sure ought to appreciate what a man's got to do sometimes in a parked car, or a waist-high knothole in a tree, or jail cell at noon.
That's odd. Jail cell at noon is oddly specific.
Probably because he's done all of them. You've done them right too, Steve.
If you can get any, it's see clear to part with them. Bring them round when the sheriff's at lunch, and I'd be obliged.
So that girly magazine we got, the first puzzle of the game, or one of the first, is that we actually have to bring him the girly magazine. However, Sheriff Dwayne won't let us just give it to him, so we have to wait until he's on his lunch break. When he goes on his lunch break feels almost random, although the second you walk by those areas and see either him at the diner or her gone, or him gone from this office, give the magazine to him, because I feel this game is actually on a time limit. It's kind of, for the first half at least until you get into the lodge.
I like that foot tapping animation.
I just noticed that.
The evidence room, where we store items lifted from crime scenes. It's kept locked at all times. There's things in there that could make people jump through hoops, if I wanted.
That's a clue for later.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a dolphin and jump through an actual hoop. Alright, where are we going now?
That guy in the background, I think that might be generic cop, and if that is the case, then he's played by the same guy who did Loomis. Oh, now we're doing the school. Okay.
It's school time, kiddos.
School time. I actually like this guy's actor quite a bit as well.
It's the big sale!
Oh, yeah. That door is locked. We'll unlock that later. Let me see if I can find this guy.
Steve, good of you to drop by, big guy. Haven't seen you since graduation. A lot of changes, I hear.
You could say that.
Good. That's a nice part of my job. Turning fine young men and women out into the world, and then watching them prosper. Of course, I was able to reach more people at the old Sentinel, God bless her. But then again, I never got to see the results of my work up close before.
Who are you?
You know very well I'm Mr. Harold,
Once again, I can't find this guy's voice actor.
Why do these people just keep on wandering on set?
Nah, it's an obscure game. Probably, these people have probably never done anything else outside of this game. But
Change their names as soon as
it released. As soon as Kurt Chrysler was arrested for China.
It's like, oh god, we gotta go
Oh
now.
my god.
Investigate that fire properly. Call it a newspaperman's instinct. Though I can't imagine why Sheriff Dwayne would cover up anything. I mean, the only ones who stood to profit from the newspaper going out of business was the owner of the TV station, and Mr.
I like the children singing in the background.
Yeah.
If not for the fire,
It's a nice touch.
never would have wound up as principal of Gein Memorial.
I keep saying his gain.
Gein.
Sounds like a cemetery or a hospital.
Or the infamous serial killer.
It does? Wait, infamous serial killer.
Ed Gein? You've never heard of Ed Gein?
I've never. No, I haven't.
Oh, don't look him up.
I'm not up on my serial killers, alright?
But why am I? Oh, that's a question indeed. I think Ed Gein was the guy who inspired Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs in, like, most murderers in fiction.
Alright, that would do it.
Is a word of advice. Join the Order of the Harvest Moon at any cost. Within the lodge lies your future, and without, dust.
If you don't get into the lodge in 7 days, you die.
Why do you keep calling me big?
You know
And
what
the
happened?
cutscene, I wish I showed, because it is amazing.
There's probably a huge compilation online.
There is a
that said
huge
there's
compilation
things.
online. Yeah, I'll just say what happens, because because we're not going to see in this playthrough. It starts with the normal wake-up animation, but then the sheriff yanks you out of bed, drags you outside, and then an executioner chops your head off with a scythe.
So guys, video games.
They call it the blood drive.
It's like the bake sale.
As you get closer to the bake sale, characters actually start to talk about the blood drive as well, so you are warned about it, kind of.
Time.
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline. Corporal
Wake up and smell the Kool-Aid, Steve.
punishment. Myself, I temper discipline with love. Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions,
When I drop that in episode 2 at the very end, I might actually cut that out, because I think that'd be more interesting to bring up later.
Okay.
and a fit candidate for the lodge. Big guy.
He always calls you big guy.
Come on, big buddy boy.
And you can actually ask him why.
Drop in again.
I always forget how to spell principal.
Adult education.
Well, it's a
Prince E. Powell.
because he's your friend.
Yeah, that's how I learned it too.
All right, time to break into this room.
Hi, class! I'm a kidder!
Hello there. Hey, your alphabet.
Bye!
Your alphabet isn't finished.
Wait, it's not? I just noticed that. That's.
What else are they teaching? Let's see. That is a.
Is that anatomy? What's that on the chalkboard?
Is it a mess? Is that the last? No, that isn't the alphabet on the chalkboard.
Did you just ask if J is the last letter of the alphabet?
No, I thought these that blotch right there was like XYZ.
In one word, Stephen, discipline. Thank goodness you weren't a sulky bear. You were always a smiley bear.
Oh, never say that again.
Smiley bear.
Not as such.
Like the gummy bears or the Care Bears?
And once again, I can't. Oh, what's her name again? I can't remember. I wasn't. She might have said it in the dialogue, but I wasn't paying attention because I was looking for it on IMDb. Although I can't find a Mrs. something on here, so I guess she just doesn't have a credit either.
Really? I was just passing through.
I like he just walked into the class and it's like, I'm gonna stop for 5 minutes to talk to
you know, this is actually really disappointing to me because out of all the actors in this game, I feel like she must have had the most fun doing her role.
She definitely did. We'll figure that out
She
later.
has one cutscene dedicated to her, and it's the most amazing thing ever. It may be one of the most memorable scenes in the game. In fact, we're gonna see it in this video.
Oh, that's what I was excited for.
Yeah, that's what you were excited about, actually.
Why, I'm sure you'd have to ask them. You'll find the members of the order at the lodge.
corporal punishment. Oh, Aaron, here we go.
Old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. A rod is too thin, but a baseball bat? That bridges the generation gap quite nice.
Why does the dunce cap have blood on it? Oh, here we go. You love this cutscene.
I do.
Yes, okay. This is the dumbest scene ever.
I may show this to all of my friends.
I think there's like a GIF online if you just want to send that.
I show it to all of them. I find it online.
This kid, I think, is played by the same kid who does Hank, your brother. Like, look at her! Look at the joy in her face. She loved this role. Like, seriously, look at that! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I found that GIF like a few years ago, and I just shared it to all of my friends, and they're like, Aaron, what? Are you alright?
You know, knowing the 50s, that might not actually be in violation of anything.
This is when you bring up your beating bats. The A bat sees. Kids?
I tried to get her to say a particular thing because I kind of remember her having a dialogue about how, like, her kids' foreheads look smashed.
Huh.
I don't know. I couldn't get it to trigger, though, so whatever.
I know, like, some game... I want to know, did you ever attempt to type in a swear word into the chat box?
Actually, if you say the F word to your mother, you get a cutscene. Well, we're gonna get that later.
Because I know, like, some games, like...
Oh, this I hate. Want to guess where the exit is? You walk into the sign. That took me, like, I'm not kidding, like 10 minutes to figure out.
Yeah, that's how you exit any school, directly through the sign. Keep on walking till you're through.
Alright, now we're going to the police station. I think the sheriff is gone now. Yep, there he is. Okay. So now that the sheriff is gone, let's save our game.
I still have that save screen. Look at him go.
Oh, I didn't even mention the save screen. It's just a guy screaming. I think that might actually be Steve.
No, that's us.
Brought me any of them girly picture books?
Picture books.
Yep, I brought you How Dinosaurs Read. Here's Clifford the Big Red Dog. And Barbie does her nails.
Have you ever... Okay, I think I was watching Odd Ones Out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
The reason why Clifford is so big is because the girl loved her a lot.
I think so, but it's been literal decades since I've watched the show.
Which kind of makes me wonder, wait, so is that implying people with small dogs hate them?
It's been like a good 10 years since I've seen, like, Clifford.
Yeah. Okay, so we got to give the girl magazine, or we got to give the porn magazine to Loomis. I'm not sure what happens if you say no way. Would you consider this good voice acting or not?
I don't even
like,
know.
it's in character, but it's very stuttery and just kind of unpleasant to listen to.
I think because this guy is literally going into the back room to look at porn. I think
There's
he's
a cutscene where he's... That door wasn't real, by the way. That was just that was a CG door.
What? That was a CG door? I couldn't tell.
There's a lot of things in this game that are oddly CG. So in here, of course you need them gone to do this. You want to grab the key, and you want to grab the checkbook. And I think that letter right there you can take as well. You need all three of these.
Take all those tacks.
You can't take the tacks, nor can you take the pencils.
They have pencils all over the floor. Pick up your pencils.
Alright. Just making sure I got everything, because I'm kind of paranoid at this point. Because I think this might be timed. Now you need to go into the evidence room.
Yep, go in the evidence room.
Thank you, Steve. And look at all this evidence. We have a mannequin. We have a Santa hat. What you gotta take here is you have to take the gas can, and there's a pair of bloody sneakers that they never cleaned. You need to take those as well. Like, you actually need to take those.
Mike, your shoes are bleeding.
Yeah, you know what we're gonna do with the shoes?
We're gonna give them to Mike Dawson.
No, we're gonna give them to Jimmy James, the paper boy.
Here you go, Jimmy James.
There we go. I had to, like, triple check that I have everything because I get so nervous when I do this.
Okay, hi.
And that's it for part 3.
Just a piece of bread, like, on the evidence table.
That's funny. All right. I'll see you folks next time.
Yep, see you guys
Have a
later.
good one.
Bye.